good YouTube? It's me, your boy Squiddy, back in another Squiddy. Apparently they're making even more Sky Striker support. What the heck? I mean, there's this ongoing manga for the actual Sky Striker lore that I've only read the first chapter of and completely forgot about, but somebody told me that this is now ending and now they're printing basically all of the monsters and characters that were in that manga, so it's kind of interesting. Let's just dive in and see what the heck we're dealing with. Okay, there's an effect monster level 1, Pillar of the Future Cyanos. It's a light machine, 500 attack, 15 defense, nothing special. It's always treated as a Sky Striker card like they all are. Card once per turn, so you can discard one spell. Special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so you have to discard a spell. Well, I mean, I guess that's easy in the Sky Striker deck. If this card is normal or special, you can special summon one Sky Striker Ace Rose from your deck or graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except machine monsters. Okay, I mean, restriction's not that bad because all of the Sky Striker links are machines. You can banish this card from your graveyard, take one of your Sky Striker Ace Rose that's banished or in your graveyard, and either add it to your hand and special summon. Okay, this card doesn't seem horrible. I mean, it's basically an extender, right? You discard a spell, you get to special summon this, and then you can special summon from your deck a Sky Striker Ace Rose. Now, the only bad thing, I suppose, is if this monster actually gets impermed or veilered, because then you're just not able to go into your Sky Striker links, right? And you're just kind of eating a -1 for the cost of nothing. But if it does resolve, you're actually able to special summon a Rose, so you do get one of the names in the graveyard. Unfortunately, it's not Ray. That'd be a little too busted, probably. It locks you into machines, but that's alright, because you kind of recur that one, the -1 discard from your hand. You get to banish this card to add back the Rose, assuming that you link these two bad boys off, either for Zeke or potentially one of the Azealia, or one of the newer Link 2s. I think we're getting a couple. There might be one in here as well, so it kind of has some utility, I suppose. But yeah, if this was treated as a Sky Striker Ace monster, it'd be a lot better, because then if it got impermed, we could still go into like the actual Link plays. But I don't think this card is horrible. I mean, as one, potentially it could be played in the deck, although it doesn't really mesh well with what the deck wants to accomplish. It's more of a control deck, right? We don't really want to extend, but it does give you that opportunity to potentially try and extend and break a board, because that's something that Sky Striker does struggle with when you're kind of restricted to the one normal summon that just gets stopped, right? So it's not horrible. We got a Link monster here, Link 3, 2500 attack that needs 2 monsters, including a Link monster, Sky Striker Ace Aelia Temperance. Okay, so it's a retrain of Aelia. Interesting. Must be Link summoned, obviously. Hard once per turn. If this card is special summoned... Ow, I just bit my tongue. You can banish one spell from your hand or graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls with 2500 or less attack. Equip that face-up monster to this card as an equipped spell. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon one other Sky Striker monster from your hand or the graveyard. Okay. I mean, it's a Sky Striker, so that's not bad. If it does leave the field, you're able to trigger raid in the graveyard and then also special summon something back, assuming it was popped by battle. If you have something like a Kagari in your graveyard during your opponent's turn, you can actually use that effect during their turn. But the most relevant is obviously the trigger effect that happens on the special summon, where you banish a spell from your graveyard and target a monster your opponent controls. So I don't know if this card is actually that playable, honestly. We have a lot of Link 3s that are more generic. We have Link 2s, in fact, like Azealia, that already kind of get rid of monsters, and it's not restricted to 2500 or less attack monsters. This might be decently good with something like an IP Masquerade, but again, like cards like the traditional Azealia just trumps it completely, I think. So I'm not really sure why you would really want to play this card. In fact, this retrain is quite significantly worse than the actual Azealia, so not a fan of this card, but I suppose it is filler. It's better than a lot of the other crappy Sky Striker support that we've actually gotten as a part of this promotional manga. And then last card, okay, there's no picture, it's a text. Combination Maneuver Engage 0 to link 2 light machine monster, 1500 attack. 2 light or dark monsters, so same materials as Azealia, so we'll be competing for that slot. It's treated as a Sky Striker Ace card. Can only summon it once per turn. Cannot be used as Link material. If this card is special summon... Ooh, cannot be used as Link material. That makes it a lot worse, because then you just can't go into Shizuku after the fact. If this card is special summon, you can target one monster on the field with 2500 or more attack, negate its effects until the end of the turn. And then at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks and you have Sky Striker Ace and Sky Striker Rose both in your graveyard, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. I feel like this card would be a lot better if it didn't actually have the restriction where he cannot be used as Link material, because that's just like a dead end for Sky Strikers. Like, we want to Link climb, we want to keep linking off into Hayate, Kagari, and then Shizuku. And this card kind of says, nope, you just have to stay on the board with this monster because you cannot link it off. So it would probably be a lot better to actually have this in the main monster zone next to Hayate pointing downwards. The effect where you target a monster in the field is not as relevant as the Raigeki-esque effect, because again, Sky Strikers kind of have the inability to clear large boards, so this would actually solve that problem a lot, where you can actually clear the boards without having to waste your resources, like setting up a multi-role with Engage and multiple copies of Widow Anchor, linking them off traditionally is how you actually clear the big boards, and then you reset all of your advantage with the multi-role at the end phase. But this kind of allows you to circumvent that by just popping their entire board, assuming you have Ray and Rose in your graveyard. But that is quite a setup. And then on top of all of that, you're not going to be able to go into the rest of your Link monster for Sky Striker. So I actually don't think it's great. Azealia is obviously still just way better in my opinion. So these two are just not that great. And then this card is okay. I think it's somewhat playable, but I don't think the deck would immediately put it in unless it has a certain motive in mind. Now, if we got something like Engage to 3, then maybe this card would be a lot better in tandem with these links, because you could just summon out this bad boy, get a Rose from your deck as well, so that's just 2 Link monsters, so you can easily make either of these with your other monster to make the Azealia Temperance, so I think that could be an argument. In fact, I wonder if Konami will actually be crazy enough to give us 3 Engage, because that just makes it more splashable at the end of the day, unfortunately. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that 3 Engage would actually push the deck over the edge, or the engine rather, or is it still something that we can see in today's metagame with how crazy the power creep's gotten? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, actually. Yeah, what do you think about the cards? Let us know below. Other than that, please subscribe, and we will see you all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.